Hey Andre, can you believe it? We actually have some real Nissan Frontier news to share.
No, I can't believe it.
For all you Frontier fans who have been anxiously awaiting, and these are like 80-year-old guys who've been waiting now for 15 years.
I have gray hair.
For a new Frontier. We have spy photos of the new Frontier, and in this video we're going to go over a bunch of different things. First, we're going to tell you everything we know about what Nissan is planning with the new Frontier.
And everything we don't know.
I was going to say that's coming too. We're going to talk about the engine in the current Frontier because, of course, they did upgrade that.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about the competition, and then we're going to talk about what we don't know, which is also
quite a bit.
And then we're going to take these images, we're going to analyze them, and we're going to go through them image by image, and we're going to find out what we can discern from these new spy images that were released recently.
Yeah, because we have multiple angles of this truck. Yeah.
Let's save that for the end.
Okay.
All right. So let's start with what we know about the new Frontier, and that is it's the oldest truck in America.
Well, right now, it was like 2005 when the current kind of generation of the truck was born, and it's been really successful for Nissan.
Yes.
Even up to last year or last quarter, they've been selling a lot of these trucks, and it has been. Remember, we had the most affordable truck in America, which was a extended cab, king cab, a Nissan Frontier 4-cylinder 2-wheel drive.
Manual.
Yeah,
I know.
With a 5-speed.
Yeah, with a 5-speed. That was really cool, really honest truck. But to say it's getting long in the tooth is an understatement. And so this year they did something which very few manufacturers actually do, and that is they changed the power plant without actually changing the exterior of the engine. And I think the reason manufacturers don't do that is because when you're at the dealership and you see like the new 2020 next to the 2019 and they look the same, you're like,
which one should I buy? Should I buy the less expensive one?
Yeah.
New engine?
So let's talk about the new power plant.
Because that's what we know.
Yeah, that's what we know. So
exactly.
So what did they do?
Well, they took the old 4-liter, which has been a really good engine for them, and
it's gone.
They threw it out. And in its place, it's fully redesigned. They say about 90% new parts. 3.8-liter V6. It's a naturally aspirated engine, so no turbos, no superchargers, no electrification. 310 horsepower, 281 pound-feet of torque. So currently class-leading power. So if you look at
midsize truck.
For a midsize truck, for a horsepower rating, the closest truck is the Chevy Colorado with their V6, and torque is also really, really good for a gas engine. It's not a diesel. And then they took the old transmissions
and put a CVT in.
No.
It's Nissan after all.
Thank goodness.
Yes.
They took all the transmission, they threw them out, and put the new 9-speed in there.
Yeah.
That's shared with the Titan, which is really cool.
Yeah, so now we've got a modern power plant, well, as modern as the competition.
As it gets,
with a new 9-speed transmission in the current truck. The problem, of course, is that they didn't do a lot to distinguish it from the old truck, right? From the outside, it looks almost identical. Interior, there were some slight changes.
Right, and we've done a couple of reviews already of the 2020 truck. And this is supposed to be 2021, or even some people say 2022. I don't want to wait until 2022.
Yeah, I think part of the problem is that Nissan, of course, right now is struggling a little bit, with the whole Carlos Ghosn, CEO, fleeing Japan in a box, which is true actually, in a
music instrument box.
In an instrument box because he was indicted by the Japanese government for corruption. And then, of course, they've gone through a succession of CEOs, and Nissan is struggling to kind of right the boat and figure out actually, where they're going. And of course, this Frontier is made here in America. The new truck is also going to be built there, we believe.
Yes, and they're retooling. I'm sure when they're going to build this truck, they're going to retool the factory. Well, should we talk about the images yet?
No, not yet, because we still haven't gotten to all these other points.
Okay.
The competition. So the midsize segment is red hot right now, as you guys know. The number one truck in the midsize segment is a Tacoma, which is also actually built in Texas.
Yes.
So all these Japanese trucks are actually built in America. And I think that's important nowadays because people like to know where their trucks are made.
Right.
Behind them, of course, now are the Colorado Canyon twins, which have been around for a while. So, they're getting not old like the Frontier,
and the most recent news is that Ford sold a lot of Rangers.
Yeah, Ford is actually doing really well with the Ranger.
Ford is doing really well.
And then, of course, there's also the Honda Ridgeline, which is, more of a truck for in the Honda family.
And in the city.
In the city. Well, in the city.
And the Jeep.
And of course,
now the Gladiator.
Now the Gladiator, which is actually doing okay. At first, they came out with a crazy high price, but now we're getting reports that they're not just discounting them, but they're putting cash on the hood to try to move Gladiators. So that segment is red hot, and the Frontier has always been kind of, because of its, the fact is it was tooled, right, they built the tooling for it, the tools that actually assembled the truck, right, at the factory so long ago that it's kind of paid for. And then in a lot of ways for Nissan, it's like printing money by everyone they sell, and that allows them to give a substantial discount. So
and be the most affordable.
Yeah, so a current Frontier, is anywhere from what, 25 to 35, depending on which.
Well, the 2019 truck that's going away currently, although the Nissan website still shows it.
Yeah.
It's right under the 20 grand.
Okay.
Which was the truck retested, remember?
Yeah.
That truck. And that's the lowest price you will find anywhere. But that truck is going to go away because the 4-cylinder is now gone. So for 2020, they raised the price significantly to about 25, like you said.
Yeah, and
which is competitive.
And then it goes up, of course, if you want the Pro 4.
Oh, yes. And the crew cab and four-wheel drive.
All the bells and whistles.
Yes.
So that's the competition. And let's talk about what we don't know, because there's certainly a lot that we don't know before we start analyzing the images. So what we don't know is when it's going to be on sale.
Correct. That's, the 2020 truck is still coming online, so we don't know when they're going to unveil it.
Yeah, we don't even know when it's going to be unveiled.
Right.
We don't know the fuel economy.
No, although we can guess it because we know the engine, right? And the engine, the V6, the new one, is supposed to be about 10% more efficient than the old engine, but 10%. I think the jump needs to be larger. So maybe they're holding something back.
We don't know if it's going to be a hybrid or if there's going to be any kind of electrification.
We don't know that.
We don't know that.
So far, only one engine is known.
We don't know pricing, of course.
No, we don't know a lot about the interior. We don't know what they're going to change. Although, dude, remember recently the Nissan Rogue, the new one, showed up.
Yeah.
And they had the new interior with new gauges and cool graphics. Do you think they'll use some of that here?
I would bet that's a good assumption to make.
That'd be cool.
So now let's talk about what we do know and what we can guess from the images. My first impression, Andre, immediately from this image is it looks like a baby Titan.
It does, right? And it's very boxy.
It's very boxy.
It's very boxy. Dude, can I record my screen so we can kind of go through it?
Yeah, hit record and let's go through it.
Yeah, and this is a crew cab.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at a little bit more. So, let's focus on the front at first because that's what we can see here. Very boxy. I'm really happy that's a boxy design because, a lot of new trucks are becoming sleek and car-like. I don't like that. I think trucks need to be boxy.
It's following in a way what Chevy's done with their Silverado, right? That's like driving a fist into the wind.
Yeah, and this is another fist. Yeah, I like that. You have tow hooks in the front. The spoiler, the front shin spoiler is not too low. So this is probably like an off-road version.
I was saying the tires look like they're pretty beefy.
Yeah, although not very aggressive, right? Let's look a little closer.
Okay.
Big radiator, is open, and the upper grille is kind of closed right now, which is kind of interesting.
Well, most vehicles get most of their air intake not from the grill anymore, not from the grill, but lower, actually from underneath. So that makes sense.
And here, let's look at the side profile. And this is a classic kind of a crew cab midsize profile because you got a 4-door cab and a 5-foot bed. And this is across the board. All the midsize trucks have that configuration.
Can you actually make out a fuel gauge there, or is it too
little fuel door?
Yeah. Or is it on the other side? I can't really make it out. I was wondering if this is like potentially or an exhaust pipe.
A fully electric truck?
Could it be a hybrid potentially? Is there any clue of it being a plug-in hybrid, anything like that?
Let's keep looking. I cannot see a fuel door quite yet. But look at this. This truck looks big.
Yeah.
Is it an optical illusion or is it,
Well, the other thing I'm noticing is if you look at that window line, this window line right
Yes,
there. That's
yes.
very reminiscent of an F-150, right? That's a classic F-150.
When it comes down.
Yeah, when
right.
it comes down, yeah.
And also, it's similar to the Titan. The Titan also has a slight kind of like lower window.
Yeah.
The back window is kind of taped up.
Yeah.
And you got a shark fin antenna at the top, which is
pretty common nowadays.
cool.
Yeah.
But the truck looks big. You know how midsize, everything is growing.
Yeah.
Midsize trucks are growing, the full-size trucks are growing, the heavy-duty trucks are bigger. Ooh, we get a closer look at the wheels.
Yeah. Once again, midnight everything is very popular right now.
Blacked out.
So there you have your blacked out wheels, and those are yeah, kind of like, I'm going to call them soft rotor tires.
Yeah, they're not very aggressive.
No, they're not.
6-bolt hubs, still obviously 4-wheel drive because you can kind of see the hub in the center.
And can you make out the suspension underneath it all? Is that
so front probably independent for sure because it's currently independent.
Yeah.
So we can't quite see. I can see a coil.
I'm not seeing any Fox or any Bilstein. I'm just kind of seeing the top.
Look at all the wires down here, dude. Can you see that?
Yeah, that could be.
There's a lot. Maybe measuring equipment.
Emissions testing. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe a lot of computers on board that are measuring stuff. In the back, I see a leaf spring, which makes sense. You know, most midsize trucks have leaf springs.
Hey, why don't you zoom in on that? Let's see if there's anything else we can see.
Spare tire, leaf spring.
Yeah, underneath. Pretty common.
Disc brakes. You know how Tacoma still uses drum brakes, right?
Yeah, because they're better according to Toyota. Mike, I love you, dude, but we're not buying it.
He says you don't need them for off-road. Yeah. That's basically the statement. I cannot see the tire size, dude.
He was the chief engineer for Toyota on the Tacoma.
It's a Michelin Primacy, which is kind of a highway tire, but I don't see. Okay, let's look at the rear end. So now, first of all, we see the open window in the back.
Yeah, I wonder if it's power or not. I like
it. Should be. I mean, I would hope so.
But a lot of them aren't. Like, for instance, the Gladiator isn't the power window, and it's really nice if it's powered because if you're alone in your truck, which is how you are there the most time, right? You're driving it by yourself. If it's manual, you got to get out, go around, open it up.
No,
and having a rear window is actually, on a nice day, a really nice way to cool the truck without having to use the air conditioner. It just gets a lot of airflow. And then what inevitably ends up happening, to me at least, maybe you too, if I'm opening that window, I forget about it, and then I walk away, and then
I've done that before.
Yeah, especially if it's not power.
Yeah, I've done that.
What does that say? Is that like a USB sticker? Yeah, scannable sticker.
You scan it. No, I'm testing this truck. Boom, scan.
Right.
Okay.
How about exhaust? We've seen the.
Yes. So there it is. So, but by the way, dude.
Yeah.
The exhaust has 3 probes. They're measuring a lot of different emissions on this truck. So there are probably a lot of additional equipment. Look, they're measuring probably a temperature of the differential.
Yeah. It's also interesting that it's got Michigan plates because Nissan is headquartered in Kentucky, and of course they build many of their vehicles in the South. And so it's interesting that it's running on Michigan plates, but that's where a lot of the manufacturers sell their trucks.
Yeah, they're headquartered in Tennessee. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And there's a sway bar. Shocks, they're black, so we can't quite say.
How low they hang down.
Yeah, they do hang low.
It's very similar to the Canyon Colorado twins, right? And I always worry about that because when you're off-roading, that seems like it's going to hit the next pointy rock.
So you need to have additional slider, to help you.
Well, I mean, ideally the wheel goes over the rock and then this doesn't hit, but you could see a circumstance where the wheel doesn't go over the rock and the kind of lower pivot point on that shock does hit.
Yeah, so that's, part of that is because the frame is there, but usually what manufacturers do sometimes, like Ram and others, they push the shocks outward more. Yeah. So, but look, it looks like a baby Titan from here.
It does. There's a little bit of a clue and a little bit of a hint to those taillights. So, it's very well camoed.
Mirrors are small.
Yeah.
So not towing mirrors. Mirrors. So maybe
but that's a mid-size truck thing. Anything else we can see that we can discern?
So definitely.
Is there a camera there? Can you tell? Is there a camera on the?
There must be. Yes.
It looks like
it's poking out.
Yeah.
It's poking out.
It's definitely a camera. So we have a backup camera, and I think you have to have one.
Backup
sensors.
Sensors for your parking assist.
Yeah.
So this truck should be loaded with full, technology suite, like adaptive cruise, lane departure warning.
Right. And Nissan does that, right?
Nissan does that.
Yeah, right. So they have basically what I would call autonomy light. So if eventually you put all those things together, you get a vehicle that can drive itself. But right now, it's just a suite of safety things that help you autonomously or in a very active way to keep from crashing into the car in front of you by hitting the brakes, to keep from crashing the car next to you by showing you that there's somebody in your blind spot, that kind of thing.
Yeah, but This is the first look.
Is there any more, or is that it?
No, that's it.
That's
so
it.
we've seen the rear, we've seen the axle, solid rear axle. So it was very likely a V6 truck because we don't see any plugs. You know, like external, electrification, like a hybrid.
I like the design. I like the look of that front. I think it's purposeful as much as you can tell. It seems like it's going to be
The hood is huge, dude. Isn't it huge?
A very modern looking truck. The wheels look big in comparison, right?
Maybe even 20s.
For some reason, GM always feels like they're under-wheeled, right?
Little tiny donuts.
Yeah, in these big holes, but that looks really good. And guys, let us know in the comments below if there's something we missed. Oh, grab handle. That's always very thoughtful.
Probably a front camera.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on.
Is there a front camera?
It's in the windshield. You can see it right there.
Right, and then of course there's a grab handle, which is nice.
Big grab handle.
But how about a front camera in the hood? Is there one?
There might be one. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
But they've done the 360 cameras, so they should be doing it.
And the hooks aren't red, so it doesn't mean they won't be red eventually.
Right.
Or orange, which is what Nissan is doing now.
Right, orange.
Yeah. All right, guys, let us know if there's something that we've missed in the comments below. And like we say, we don't know if this is a 2021 or a 2022. It really depends when they unveil it. I'm hoping sooner than later.
Yeah, hopefully 21.
Yeah, but we don't know. Is this a vehicle that you would consider putting on your shopping list? Did they do enough, at least from these pictures, to make it competitive in that midsize truck segment? Because trucks are red hot, and Nissan really needs something new to
spice it up.
Yeah, get traffic into the dealership and get some more sales going. As always, this is Roman
and Andre
saying thanks for watching this breaking news video of the new 2021-2022 Nissan Frontier. Remember, when news breaks, Andre's got you covered at TFLtruck.com.
Yep, it's all right there.
Ciao.